Shalom. It's Jetty, Empress Jetty, the Rabble Rouser. Okay, we gotta talk, guys. Okay? This is for you ladies. Hmm. First of all, thanks for watching, guys. Hope everybody's cooling out there in these end times. Alright, girls, I know somebody told you. Oh my gosh, we got 5 minutes. Listen, I skipped my whole intro with telling you about the channel and all that stuff because we need this whole 5 minutes, okay? So just go to YouTube, listen to the culture. Okay, here we go. Now, I know someone told you ladies, and you gents, that a woman's value and worth is in how well she can submit, and that the more terrible the, I don't know, I don't want to say oppressor because I don't want anybody to get it in their mind that I believe that all headships are oppressors. But this thing that you guys teach is like this. I'm eating weed, guys. The thing that you guys teach is this weird version of submission that really only ever proves itself worthy when the person's not worth submitting to. It's so backwards, right? Because the more wrong and outrageous your husband is, the more you are expected to combat that by submitting more to it and showing him that you are really, really good at tolerating his wrong outrageousness. And that's supposed to be your value as a woman. And that if you as a woman, and we talked about this in another one, but I'm going to mention it here, and that you as a woman are somehow failing in your femaleness, right? To rise up and protect your space and your children from this out of control energy, right? And the fact is, you are in your most feminine space when you rise up and slay to protect your space and your children, which is why there's sayings like mama bear and she lion. When we want to talk about something fierce in nature, we talk about a mother defending its young. That's the most feminine space you can, like, that's like the biggest powerful feminine space, I think, probably outside of giving birth and falling in love, right? Is protecting that which love and birth have produced, right? So so that we have these weird, like, Euro romantic notions. And you guys should think about this. All this stuff that you think is so romantic, you do know that that is because it's part of the Roman culture. Like, it's not global, these things that are considered romantic, right? That's Roman culture, just for the record, right? So a lot of stuff that you guys think is like standard and normal, and you should do that in relationships to show love, that's romantic. Are you romantic? Like, not to say that loving gestures aren't universal, but just things like date night, okay? The concept of date night being integral to relationships, which I do support date night. I think that it's great, but in some cultures there's no dating. Dating doesn't exist. So what does date night mean? Right? Spend time with your spouse, okay, right? But just the centralization of its global northern, aka western, aka global planetary American, whatever you want to call it, right? Culture, the centralization of that, got a lot of y'all hung up and caught up. Because when you think of ancestors, you can't get no further back than 1492. You can't get no further back than that. And so your longest memory goes back to the age when white men were realizing that they had the capacity to do more harm than true humans, and that meant they could take everybody's stuff. And so they created this weird situation where they went out and just did all abominable things for stuff, and they tucked women in these little corners and just kept bringing in the stuff, right? And then the more stuff the woman had, the more content she was supposed to be, and the more she was supposed to shut up, and he could do all kinds of wicked stuff. He could do everything horrible and wicked up under her nose, whatever, as long as he kept bringing in the stuff. And so that reality, being the colonial Euro mind, you guys have somehow turned that into our version of old fashioned. And you think that things like female warriors are like rare, right? Like my husband's like, oh, that's kind of rare. But I mean, I know it happens, but it's kind of rare. It's not kind of rare. It's kind of rare if you follow European history, but it's not rare if you follow indigenous history. Women fight. Women have been known to be some fierce behind warriors. People don't even know that it's biblical. It's scriptural. Women should be. I don't know how you get a Deborah. I don't know how you get a Deborah. I don't know how you get a Judith, right? I don't know how you get these women of power if righteousness for women is completely bound up in her ability to tolerate and to serve in this mindless way where it's an offense for her to use her full faculties and capacities. Listen, anytime it's an offense for anyone to use their full faculties and capacities given by Yah, not that I'm saying to be all out of order, y'all, because some of y'all just don't know when it's not your time, okay? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when somebody wants you to dim your shine for whatever reason. You're brilliant in business, so your husband never lets you talk when his business friends are over because he doesn't want you showing him up, because he considered that you being a man and trying to lead the house and all this other ego stuff he's going through. And so you guys go through 5 different failed businesses because he won't let you speak up and take the lead. And you could have turned y'all, and you could have, everyone in business could be prospering in your hands, but you somewhere proving you a good wife and you ain't spoke up yet. Dumbness. I'm not even going to talk about how y'all let these people treat y'all kids. You women that let these men treat y'all kids crazy. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And you so-called Hebrew Israelites are the worst with it. Some of these nightmare stories I hear about y'all with these women, how y'all doing these women. You do them dirty, then you pass them on and you soil their little name and stuff because they can't take your madness because you done somewhere got a splinter in your hiney about being gods. And you don't even know what that means. You have no idea that means that you are creators, that you are abundance makers, that you bring light to darkness, that you bring life. You make something out of nothing. Y'all not doing that. Y'all just somewhere mashing women and children down, making people feel bad about themselves and cussing white folks out. And I'm all for the cussing white folks out. It's that time. Y'all said do to them what they did to us. Listen, know the times and seasons, okay? So they can get that work. But I don't know. Y'all better grow up. Y'all better grow up. And no, men are not like responsible for your soul protection and provision, girls. Just like it's absurd to think that just because a man has a wife, he would never have to cook himself another meal or do a load of laundry again. Like, y'all got these weird ideas and you better get it straight. But I'm going to tell you, at the end of the day, why I want to talk to you women is because y'all are playing with your own soul salvation. Y'all are abandoning wisdom to try to prove some point about womanhood. And it's not okay. These times are way too late for that. They're way too late for that. Men of quality are going to appreciate you walking in the fullness of your wisdom. They would never try to silence wisdom. A man of quality will not silence wisdom. Not from a baby. Not from a person they don't know. Not from a person they don't like. Not a man of quality. And surely not from his wife. And you don't prove and win no brownie points by how well you can put up with that, girls. You better come on out. You better come on out of that there. Okay, that's from 1492 and Rome and all them. That's not our thing. I'm gonna need you to talk to some ancestors before that.